Radio, also on our YouTube channel. We are live there currently. You can catch us there. It's 25 minutes after 9 a.m. And for us to check out now, it is the time for the current affairs. Good morning. If you've just joined us, you could have been anywhere, but this is where you chose to be. And for that, we love you. Thank you so much for making Moment of Truth your number one priority this morning as we continue to do radio according to you. Responding to a snap poll, readers roasted the DA leader, John Steenhuisen, for his roadkill comment, but are divided on whether he should step down or not. The DA leader, John Steenhuisen's description of his ex-wife as roadkill has drawn opprobrium from a lot of readers. But those who responded to a snap question on Friday, the 9th of September, are divided on whether he should step down. The historian R.W. Johnson wrote an essay critiquing Steenhuisen's style, and party veteran Douglas Gibson responded, we wanted only to ask whether he should step down. The consensus is not to this account. But what is clear is that the roadkill comment was against the norms. So it's shockingly sexist statement and is one more illustration that John Steenhuisen is not the right leader for the official opposition, said one reader. Most of the readers who said Steenhuisen should step down were alarmed by the gendered innuance, and it feeds into the narrative of women abuse, said one. A woman is a politician said, I've been a woman in politics and I know it's a tough hustle. Two other people said he is a misogynist. I wonder what John Steenhuisen was thinking. These are very sensitive times, and very inappropriate comments like that will not only bring you under fire, but will also surely give an impression that you're very insensitive to the way that things are done and to the needs of those who you are offending. So, Kenny Kunene calling Malema a cockroach is not hate speech. This is why he says he refuses to apologize. Kenny Kunene appeared at the Johannesburg High Court yesterday, where he was expected to account for calling Malema a cockroach. Now, the outspoken businessman turned politician made the comments during an interview in November when he called Malema a little frog and an irritating cockroach. Malema responded with a lawsuit against him. He wanted Kunene to pay for up to 1 million rand for the slur. He said Malema has called other politicians, including Public Enterprises Minister, worse things, and the court ruled it was not hate speech. What I said is not hate speech within the confines of the law. I don't see how the court will arrive at the conclusion that saying someone is an irritating cockroach is hate speech. He is an irritating cockroach, he repeated. Kunene said Malema is a small boy that is emotionally fragile with low self-esteem. Perhaps Malema is too scared of me, he says. He fears me. Even in court, he panics when he hears my name, he said. The word cockroach means something, and that something is offensive. Malema accepted Mbete's apology and said, I want to send an apology to the leader of the DA for calling her a cockroach myself when I was very young. How? The city of Cape Town has introduced a few controversial bylaws in the past, and the latest legal amendment is likely to split opinion. The traffic bylaw essentially gives vehicle owners 90 days to pay impounding costs regardless of the offense. They will get the best part of 3 months to settle the balance. However, if they miss the deadline, the city of Cape Town will be empowered to take 2 courses of action. According to the updated rules, the city can put the seized motor up for public auction to recover the costs. The remaining balance will then be transferred into the owner's bank account. However, traffic authorities also have the option to get the vehicle completely destroyed. Aware of the possible public backlash, J.P. Smith has moved fast to explain the policy. He claims this new bylaw will be a successful deterrent to offenders who have to think twice before disregarding the rule of law. Imagine your car getting impounded, and 90 days later, they have crushed and squashed it into primarily what you'd call a tin box. A tin cup. A senior official in the Home Affairs Department has been fired for gross negligence and dishonesty. This follows the granting of a permanent residence to fugitive Shepherd Bushiri. Home Affairs Minister Aaron Motsoaledi says the official is currently appealing his dismissal. There are several other officials who are also in the firing line. Motsoaledi also says the process to investigate the foreign-led churches in South Africa is underway. He said the permanent residency of controversial pastor Tim Omotoso is also in question. Aibo. So this is what these guys are up to. Ayin. So, speaking of pastors, there's a pastor who unleashed his belt on the congregation. There's even a video of it. We all love a bit of video content, don't we? It's an engaging, exciting, and different way of consuming content. We also love consuming as much news as possible, to stay in as much as we possibly can, to stay in the know. But we have busy lives, and we can get a taste of what's happening in a short amount of time. We would also consider that a win. Enter this 1 minute news segment, and we're super proud of just knowing as much. So, there's a pastor who literally pulled off his belt and got to whipping the congregation. And the tutus I don't know. That's not about to happen anytime soon. But it happened, and there's a video of it. Go check it out. I won't give you the direct link, but maybe put it up on our Facebook page so that you can also follow that. Very interesting, and the scenes there will make you definitely look at things a little bit differently compared to what they are looking like right now. NATO's closest unit to the war in the Ukraine has been carrying out scheduled military exercises to prepare for the possible invasion. Based in Romania near Ukraine's southern border, soldiers held a dress rehearsal for enemy forces advancing from the north. The NATO battle group, which consists of French and Dutch soldiers, were deployed there as a direct result of the Ukraine war. They are preparing for a war spilling over border into Romania, even though no one is openly discussing the possibility. Officials say that their exercises are part of the routine. The context is different somehow, but the training remains the same. There is global trend within armed forces to train for a peer-to-peer fight that was ongoing before the Ukrainian crisis. So they think that they've been doing a pretty good job of picturing what it will be like in the next conflict. It is getting out of hand. But we also have to remember that whatever is going on, somebody out there is definitely going to not enjoy the outcomes of what is happening, because a war has no real winners. Jason Shao is looking to achieve something no other overseas national has ever managed in Lesotho before. The Chinese businessman recently decided to try his hand at politics in a bid to become the country's first foreigner elected as an MP. What previously seemed like a tall order for Mr. Shao has started to look more achievable in the past few weeks. The candidate, who represents a newly formed party in Lesotho, is running on a ticket of increased job creation and improved educational standards. What's more, Jason Shao wants people of Lesotho to produce and manufacture more of their own goods, and he believes that an advancement in the local technology is needed to create a more sustainable future. His message, it seems, is starting to cut through. He has given several campaign speeches, which within the past weeks, he has until the 7th of October to convince the Basotho public that they can trust him with their vote. Shao has lived in Lesotho since 2006, and his 16-year stint in the country has ignited these political ambitions. The road ahead is not straightforward for the blossoming politician, though. There are a total of 65 political parties that are contesting for the 120 parliament seat. Now, in all, 80 are delegated as constituency seats and 40 are delegated as proportional representative votes, the PR votes. Will be very interesting to follow up and see where this is going. The new intelligence oversight inspector is under pressure to probe Ramaphosa's Phala Phala saga. Mr. Imtiaz Fazel will swap his role as Director General of Public Works for that of the Inspector General of the Intelligence once President Cyril Ramaphosa makes a formal appointment. After the ANC's first choice for Inspector General of Intelligence, anti-apartheid struggle veteran, ex-presidency Director General Reverend Frank Chikane failed to master the constitutionality required two-thirds support in the House in the mid-June. So no such embarrassment hit Tuesday's recommendation. In an unanimous vote for 334 for and no abstentions, the MPs approved Public Works Deputy General Imtiaz Fazal as the next Inspector General of Intelligence. It is the second time in the past 7 years that the IGI post was not timeously filled. The previous incumbent, Setlo Mararu Dintwe, left with contract expired in March. By the time Dintwe was appointed in 2017, the post had been vacant for 2 years, and as a governing ANC had failed to persuade opposition parties to back its choice, who was Cecil Burgess. The lawyer representing one of the suspects in the Hillary Gardi murder wants the magistrate to excuse himself from the case and also accuse the police of tampering with evidence. Evidence has been manipulated. You, as the police, are doctoring and planting evidence, said lawyer advocate Ngobi Zita Nlilo. And an investigating officer, Colonel Tamsanga Mkalipi, during the cross-examination of the bail application at the Mbombela Magistrates Court yesterday. Gama Philemon Lukele, Sipho Mkhatshwa, and Hlabirwa Rasinkuna are accused of abducting, raping, and murdering Gardi. Gardi went missing on the April 29th, and her body was on May 3rd with a gunshot wound about 60 kilometers outside Mbombela. On Tuesday, Mkalipi asked for the magistrate Martin Morris to recuse himself from the bail proceedings, citing that the magistrate's line of questioning was siding with the state. We want to see justice, and we will follow up until justice is served. The DA's coalition partners have rallied behind Joburg Mayor Mpho Phalatse after an uncertain 2 weeks following threats of a motion of no confidence. Multi-party coalition spokesperson Corne Mulder said if all coalition partners vote together, they have 138 votes in council. Currently, the multi-party coalition consists of the Democratic Alliance, Action SA, the IFP, the FF+, the Patriotic Alliance, and the African Christian Democratic Party. The future of COPE and ATM in the coalition remains unclear. Speaking to a publication, there were 4 councillors who went against the coalition who were members. One from the UIM was suspended and replaced by a new councillor sworn in, and an FF Plus councillor who was absent during the meeting on August 31 was on suspension, then expelled, and had also been replaced. 22 minutes now before 10 o'clock, and we continue. In a social media post that has since gone viral, Sebastian Santino de Allende posted a picture of his receipt, which he showed that he had been charged a rather huge amount instead of what he had asked for. The incident allegedly took place at Engine and Eastlake Convenience in Muizenberg. Of course, opinionated Saudis didn't hesitate to roast the man who simply just wanted his money back. Some of the more common questions on social media were why his card didn't decline, and others questioned why his daily swipe limit. The post said, Engine SA, I expect better. My full tank of petrol was 1,200 Rand. Your cashier took 120,020 Rand and 12 cents from my account instead. This happened at Muizenberg Garage. The money is still not in my account, and I received no calls or emails about this. I have been trying to contact you privately, but I cannot find any way. Fix this before I take action. Of course, social media erupted when this photo of the receipt went viral, with many South Africans who are battling to keep their heads above water question why the man doesn't have a daily limit on his card. Taking to Facebook a few hours ago, De Allende posted, "Thank you everyone for sharing on the post about Engine. It got their attention and they immediately returned my money. I did delete the post because people were going crazy and I was getting friend requests every 5 seconds. It went way too viral, but thank you. All sorted now." Who has 120,000 Rand just sitting around their account, like their current account? Pof, let me tool. In entertainment, South African musician Dr. Malinga, real name Goodwill Malinga, left many people saddened after he broke down on Mac G's podcast and Chill while explaining that he's facing financial difficulties. The episode went viral as many of his fans offered words of encouragement and support. A number of celebrities, including local DJ Black Coffee, also offered to help the debt-riddled singer. Shortly after the news, Black Coffee was getting involved. He hit. Rumors circulated that Coffee had given Dr. Malinga 500,000 rand, something that he has since headed online to deny. Many people have banded together to give the Violando hitmaker a helping hand after he revealed that a number of his personal belongings were being targeted by debt collectors. Musicians such as Makadzi, Kabza the Small, and even the Economic Freedom Fighters leader Julius Malema stepped in to offer assistance. Black Coffee is also one of the artists who offered to help the singer, but contrary to popular belief, he did not give Dr. Malinga 500,000 rand. Shortly after rumors started circulating, Dr. Malinga headed to his Twitter page to debunk them. "Hi guys, the real Black Coffee did not give me 500,000 rand. Let's please not mislead people," he wrote in his tweet. Jin, okay. And finally, and further afield in this beautiful but sometimes troubled continent of Africa, Kenya. William Ruto is officially your sworn-in president. A whole audience of heads of state and governments waited for William Samoei Ruto at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani, in Nairobi. The officials attended. Tuesday, the inauguration ceremony of Kenya's fifth president since independence. Ruto made his big entrance in a highly charged venue. The 60,000-seat stadium was filled before dawn. Many spectators were clad in yellow, the color of Ruto's party, and waving Kenyan flags. After serving as deputy president 9 years under Uhuru Kenyatta, Ruto took the oath for the top office. He swore to be faithful to the Republic of Kenya, protect and defend the Constitution and laws, and uphold the sovereignty, integrity, and dignity of the people of Kenya. Many Kenyans wanted to witness the moment, and the United Democratic Alliance candidate would officially be sworn in. However, the venue could not host everyone. Scores of people were crushed and injured as they forced their way into the stadium. Most of the wounded were rushed to Nairobi's main hospital. 18 minutes now before 10 o'clock, and that is how we conclude Moments in Current Affairs. Stay tuned. This is Radio According to You. This is Keith and Gacy Radio, and this is how we go.
We're social. Check us out.